Swenke friends, this is Miss Baker. I am here in your school garden, and so is Mrs. Winger and Miss Sanford, and we're all here. All three garden ladies are here in your garden. We're working and prepping your gardens for the fall planting season. So what we're going to do as a part of our virtual classroom is we're going to give you a tour around the garden once or twice a month so that you can see what's growing and keep track of what we're planting and the changes that are happening through each season. So this is our walking into this beautiful pavilion of your outdoor classroom. We know there are several really great things about the Swenke Imagination Garden. One of them is this rain barrel. So remember, the rain is collected off of the roof of this pavilion, and the water goes down this drain and into the rain barrel, and then we can collect rainwater and use it to water our garden. And we turn the nozzle and let's see if I can get it. There's the rainwater. So this is a really great way to recycle rainwater and use it in your garden. So that's a fun part of Swenke's garden. Over here we have some herbs. This is oregano. So remember, when you smell oregano, you can rub the leaves and then smell your fingers to smell the aroma. Oregano is used in a lot of Italian cooking. And you can also see that the oregano has flowered, and now there are seeds. Let's see if I can grab these. Excuse my dirty hands. Look at that. Those are oregano seeds. One more thing we wanted to show you. We have these fun scarecrows. I have a feeling this was the Girl Scouts that put some new clothes on your cute little scarecrows. We are working to get these gardens all cleaned up. But let's look at this last bed over here. These are called lemon cucumbers. That's kind of two words that don't usually go together, but lemon cucumbers are yellow like a lemon, but they're not a lemon. They are a type of cucumber. It's a really interesting flavor. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's a kind of a unique citrusy, cucumbery flavor, but you can look here at the different parts of the plant. The yellow flowers are where the bees would come, drink the nectar, and pollinate. And then the flower's job is to make seeds, and the seeds are found inside of the fruit. Here you can see one starting to grow. They're green color while they're growing. I'm trying to see if I can find one that's growing. And then they turn this bright yellow when they're ripe. So lemon cucumbers, one more part of the lemon cucumber vine. It's a vine that grows. If you can see these long curly parts, let's see if I can find one over here. Here's one that's wrapping around. These are called tendrils. Do you see that part of the plant that's wrapping around the other stem? That's a tendril. Tendrils are an adaptation that helps the plant climb and grow up to the sun. So wherever you see these little parts of the plant that are sticking out here, those are tendrils. They wrap around. There's really nothing for them to climb in this garden, so they're just spreading out across the garden. But this is one big garden full of lemon cucumbers. The interesting thing is we didn't even plant these this year. They are so determined, this lemon cucumber vine, when the cucumbers rot and decompose, like this one would do sitting on the ground, the seeds of the cucumber sit in the garden and they wait. So for 2 or 3 years in a row now, we've not replanted lemon cucumbers. They just decompose, rot, the seeds sit in the ground, and then they grow again the next year. So those are called volunteers. When a plant just pops up and continues growing from seeds that were hiding in the ground, that's called a volunteer plant. So this lemon cucumber is one big volunteer. Okay, we are in one of your vegetable gardens, and Miss Sanford here is hello, Miss Sanford. She is dumping out bags of humus. Look at the dark color. So we talk about physical properties in science, and one of the physical properties we can observe of this humus is the dark color. Humus is loaded full of nutrients that the plants need to absorb through the roots to help the plant grow healthy and strong. So what we do at the beginning of the year is add in humus and mix it into the soil that's already existing in your garden. And what that does is add back the nutrients that were sucked out by the roots of the plants that were growing during the summer. So we had some squash growing in this garden, and in the gardens over here we had tomato plants, And so all of those plants have been taken out, and now we are amending the soil, adding humus. Another word for humus is compost. And we're getting these beds ready for planting. So the first crop we're going to be planting is carrots, and we're getting all of this cleaned up and ready. In this soil, we're turning the soil to loosen up the roots and dig out the roots. Look at that. What is that wiggling around? Those are little red wiggler worms, earthworms. Earthworms are good for the garden. Oh, you can see a bunch of them in there, can't you? You see them wiggling? Earthworms are good for the soil because they dig tunnels. Oh yeah, and here's something Miss Winger found that's not good for the garden. You see this one? This is a grub worm. So if we look at the difference between a red wiggler over here, these tiny ones that are pinkish color and tiny, those are good. They dig tunnels, they produce waste that's more nutrients for the garden. They don't eat our plants, they eat just decomposing leaves and sticks and plant parts. But this guy is a grub. This is not good for our garden because they eat the roots of our plants. So we don't like to see grubs in the garden. In fact, what I'm going to do is take him and toss him out into the grass, and he can go eat some roots of the grass instead of roots of the plants that are growing in our garden. So he's gonna go out there. Lots of fun things you can find when you dig in the soil. Okay, boys and girls, this is the last garden we wanted to show you. This is the sweet potato bed, and this garden was planted in May. Little tiny slips of sweet potatoes. They're called slips. They're just a stem with a couple leaves and a tiny little root. Those were planted in May. And sweet potatoes love growing in the Houston area through the summer. They love it when it's dry. They don't need a lot of water. They love the heat. And they grow June, July, August, September, and then it's time to harvest. So all the vines that were here have already been removed, but we want to show you the sweet potatoes that are just under the surface. If you barely pull back the soil, there they are. And they're down deep in the ground. We're going to let students dig these out. But here is one that we pulled out just so you can see the color and the shape. Isn't that beautiful? That is a perfect looking sweet potato. So this entire garden is full of sweet potatoes. Time to get these dug up and harvested, and then it will be ready to plant the next crop in this bed.